Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new week, and with it, more locals feature matches. Here we are in round one, and on the camera we have sort of a mirror match. We have Tenyi with a Swordsoul engine on the left versus Swordsoul Tenyi on the right. So hopefully that makes sense. They sound almost exactly the same, but I believe they are built very differently. Yours truly on the right, piloting Swordsoul. Yeah. So let's go ahead and hop right into this. I'll also go ahead and quickly go over the poll results as well. Let me just pull them up here. Looks like you guys are voting for the Tenyi with the splash of Swordsoul, I guess. So we'll see if you guys are correct. I do lead with the Mo Yi revealing Idara, and my opponent does have the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, which of course will destroy the Mo Yi. Mo Yi will still resolve though, summoning that token to the field. And I do have a Droplet in hand and an Ash Blossom. I also believe I have a Vishuda and the Idara. I don't think I had any other plays available to try to make a synchro play using the Tenyis because I opened the Vishuda. Vishuda is a card that I really like playing in the deck, but playing it at 3 is something I've grown less and less fond of, just because it doesn't do anything turn 1. I would have much rather that have been like a Vessel, a Dragon Circle, or an Ashina, just literally anything else. But yeah, it is what it is. My opponent is going to lead with a Vishuda, special summon to the field, link the Vishuda into Monk of the Tenyi. You can see in his hand there he has Avarice, DD Crow, Raigeki, and Taie. So he opened up okay. His one interruption was, I guess, unfortunately for him, but fortunately for me, was not able to get any value. He does Raigeki the board, probably just so he can get ahead in the damage game here. And he is also going to use Taie here, and I do Droplet that. I do not want him to get ahead in advantage. Like, even if he goes for Chi-Xiao, I could drop with the Chi-Xiao, but then he gets access to an Ashina, which from there he could make other plays, which I'd rather not have happen. I'd rather just stop the Taie while we're ahead and just basically hope he doesn't do anything else. I think Taie might be like the only Swordsoul monster he's playing. I could be wrong. But yeah, I pitched the Idara for the Droplet. I probably should have pitched the Vishuda looking back. I do top deck Ecclesia here. I was kind of in dire straits, and that was a very, very good top deck. So, I mean, either way, I still had, I think, normal summon or Spec Vishuda, normal summon Ash to go for a Hulk play or a Baron. So I still had a backup play regardless had I not drawn the Ecclesia. But luckily, Ecclesia comes in clutch here to get us into a Mo Yi, and we go for Chi-Xiao and Mo Ye. Mo Yi or Mo Ye, how do you guys pronounce it? Let me know. Trying to get, way better at the pronunciations for the deck. Because I know some people don't pronounce them remotely correct, so I don't want to be one of those guys. But, yeah. Chainlink 2, Mo Ye, and then Chainlink 1, Chi-Xiao, and we're going to go ahead and search out the Blackout. I think I drew an Emergence off the Mo Yi, too, which is really strong. That's going to search us a Long Yun. And from here, I still have the Vishuda in hand. So we're going to go ahead and summon the token. Now, I want to see if I make the mistake here. Yep, I do make the mistake of not using my Tenyis sometimes. And this is something I've been noticing as I've been playing this deck in One Deck One Month. And there should be a new One Deck One Month episode out this week. I'll give more details on Twitter or Discord when there's going to be an exact release date. But I missed the opportunity to basically Vishuda bounce the Monk back to his hand. And then, Idara add back the Vishuda to have more cards in hand, more advantage. And I just completely missed out on that. Luckily, it didn't matter because my opponent didn't have much else to do on the crackback. So he ends up admitting defeat there. And we are into a game 2. And game 2, he, interestingly enough, lets me go first. Which I guess if he's playing Tenyi with a hint of Swordsoul, which is I'm going to refer to it for the rest of this match, it makes sense because, the Tenyi cards. And I think I see an Ecclesia in hand too, but they can inherently help go second. which is kind of the idea I had going forward when I was first starting to get into this deck for One Deck 1 Month. But I do have the Vishuda plus Vessel, and you are going to see me pull off the Chao Feng combo here, which is going to be really good in this mirror match, sort of in quotes mirror match, because it's going to shut off Ecclesia if he's playing it, which he is, and also Ashina, which is really strong. He opened that Raigeki plus Imperm, so yeah, it really doesn't matter. Either way, he's still going to get to the play that he wants, or to clear the board anyways, answer the Chao Feng. So Chao Feng established, we use the Boxy to bring back the Adara, and we go ahead and synchro to Chao Feng. And luckily for me, I guess here, I did not have a normal summon in the form of something like Moyi or Taiye, because I would have gotten Impermed, which obviously Chao Feng does not protect against. So I do have the Long Yun play. I'm going to synchro into Chi-Ching Long Yun, and burn him for 12 with the Long Yun affecting in the grave, and then we're going to pass turn there. He does draw Chalice for turn, so 3 going second cards in hand. He also has double Adara and Ecclesia, so the board is definitely crackable here. Now, the way my opponent cracks the board, I feel like could have been done a little bit more optimally, I guess. Although, again, I don't know how the workings of his deck, how it works, I guess. He leads with the Raigeki, which I guess is okay. I do chain the Chi-Ching to banish it and burn it for 12, and then Chao Feng is going to trigger to go ahead and search a tuner from the deck. Now, it was really tempting to grab Ecclesia here, solely because I didn't have that much follow-up in my hand. I have Twin Twister and Ashina, but what I decided to do is that it's probably better to add the Ghost Ogre, just so I have another layer of interruption. And that's going to definitely change up his plans a little bit. But I also, with the Ashina, I do still have a really good play. I definitely do have a really good follow-up play with just the Ashina, which is really nice. So I guess adding the Ghost Ogre here was definitely the smart play. But I feel like by Raigeki, he gave me an unnecessary interruption. He could have Chaliced, then Impermed, and then Spect Ecclesia, and then, try to out the board that way. I don't know, and then you just hold the Raigeki, I guess. I don't know. Again, I don't know the inner workings of the deck, but I don't know if okay, I see a Moyi in there, but this version is also playing the Tenyi field spell. It is also playing Mare as well, so there are definitely some differences. I didn't want to specifically call it a mirror match because I believe there is a much bigger Tenyi presence than you would typically see in your standard Swordsoul lineup. I didn't get a chance to directly ask my opponent, but that's what I would just assume. So we're going to see him normal the Taiye, and he is not going to use the Taiye effect just because he knows I have Ghost Ogre. So I imagine he is trying to do everything in his power right now to bait it out. He's going to go for Shaman of the Tenyi, discarding the Forbidden Chalice, and his target is Taiye, or Taya. And yep, he'll summon that back to the field here. And he's also doing this to get a little extra damage too. So he's going to swing in for 1600 and 1800, putting me down to 4600. And then main phase 2, Taya effect, will go ahead and banish the Adara, which I think he probably should have banished the Monk there because he could have just Adara added it back for, future resources. And I do Ghost Ogre there. And he gets the token. He is now locked into synchros. He's going to set the Imperm and pass. So I draw another Twin Twister for turn. I want to go ahead and explain how I could have played this turn out way better. So what I should have done is spec the Ashina, which I do start with. Or no, I don't know if I start with the Ashina. I think I start with Twin Pitching Twin, but this is totally pointless either way. Using the Twin here is totally not worth it whatsoever, just to out this one back row, because I could have spec the Ashina, linked for Monk, Vishuda affecting Graveyard, bouncing back the set Imperm, and then I can activate Ashina and Grave, specking the Adara, and then making Shaman, discarding one of the twins in my hand to bring back Chi-Ching Long Yun, and then we're in a really good spot. Really, really good spot. But I make the amateur hour play of Twin Pitching Twin, and then summon the Ashina, link for Monk, and the problem here then becomes, I really thought in this instance, having a third Monk of the Tenyi was going to matter quite a bit. Because I had no way, as you see, like, I use Ashina now, or Vishuddha now to put back the Shaman, and then I use Ashina, and I was like, well, I could spec Adara, add back something, right, and then pitch for the, what's it called? Pitch it for the Shaman to bring back the level 10 Synchro Engrave, right? He outed it once, it's going to be much harder to out a second time. But the problem is, I could go to make the Shaman, but I have no cards in hand to discard because I don't have another Monk. I would need a third Monk to be able to link that Adara off for, use it to grab back the Ashina, and then make a Shaman, and then pitch the Ashina, bring back Chi-Ching, etc., etc. So instead, I'm forced to just summon out of Vishuddha, get it out of the deck, and, you know, have a big enough body right at 1500, swing in, because I can't summon Ashina off of Ashina, and then I just pass. And completely missed an opportunity there. Now, my opponent, I guess, had I done that play, he could have just impermed the Chi-Ching Longyun, because I would have gone Battle Phase attack over his Shaman, and then my Shaman attack over his token. But I guess I could have just, like, left the token on his field if I was really big brain. You know what I mean? Like, starting him out immediately, locking him into synchros, so no link plays can be made. Like, he can't make any Tenyi plays. But instead, you're kind of seeing the aftermath now. Is that he's able to get into Hulk and Auroradon, which is pretty much going to signal the end of the game. Now, with a different and he also has Nibiru as his draw for turn. And, yeah. I think now he's going to go ahead and use the Yazi, destroying the Yazi and my Vishuddha. Yazi affecting Graveyard to go ahead and special summon a worm from the deck. He'll go ahead and summon Mare here instead of the typical Taie that we would see. And he is going to use Mare for 3 tokens. He does grab a dice here to, you know, mimic the last Mare token. Or I think he uses it the Auroradon token. Either way, Mare will use all of its tokens here. And there is still 1 Auroradon token on field. So there are 4 total tokens on field, 3 of which are level 1, 1 of which is level 3. So Mare is currently at level 4, plus that would be 7, 8, 9, 10. So my opponent is trying to figure out a synchro combination that will, you know, go for game here, because I'm essentially only at 4,600, and realizes that he cannot go for the Boxia play. Yeah. So I think, yeah, because he can't use the Mecha Phantom Beast token. Has to be just, I think, all worms. So, yeah. After a little bit while, he realizes, you know, oh, I could just go for Baron here, because Baron's like 1 plus tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners. Like, it's not one of those ones where you just need 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner. Like, you can only use 2 monsters. You can use as many as possible. So he summons the Baron. I'm like, all right, I won't scoop just yet. Maybe he'll forget the effect of pop, and it won't be game. But he pops it, and I'm like, all right, yeah, that's going to signal the end of the game there. But it's crazy just how much of the time playing that match out, I was like, you know, oh, I really need a third Monk. This is where the third Monk comes up. But after reviewing it, it's like, you know, did not need the third Monk whatsoever. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy how that all happens. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of enjoy playing Swordsoul a lot, is because it's very pilot dependent. Puts a lot of, you know, what the deck can do in your hands. And it's really refreshing. And you guys will see this match in this particular local tournament covered a lot more in episode 2 of One Deck 1 Month featuring Swordsoul. And the main reason I put myself on the actual feature is because, you know, I'm not on there all the time. And I also forgot to bring recording gear that would allow me to record my own matches separately. So I kind of had to use this as a kill 2 birds with 1 stone type of thing. Here in Game 3, I did not open up super optimal. I had the Vishuddha plus Adara, and I had Desires and no other engine cards. So I kind of shotgunned the Hulk play here. And if something were to happen, I have Desires follow-up, because no normal summon has been expended at this point. So, you know, right, if I get hit with Nibiru here, I can just Desires and pray, basically, and see if we can get there to find a Mo-Yi, an Emergence, or some other, you know, defensive cards, hopefully buy a turn. But we are off to the races here. we're going to activate Auroradon, tributing itself as, you know, tributing one card, right, to go ahead, and tributing one monster to go ahead and destroy a card in the field. We're going to destroy Yazi. That's going to trigger Yazi to go ahead and special summon a worm from the deck. We're going to summon Swordsoul of Tenyi. And once, you know, all this resolves, we're going to use Tenyi here to banish a worm or Swordsoul card from the grave as cost. We're going to banish Vishuda. That's going to generate a Swordsoul token, level 4 water tuner, 0/0. And then we're going to go ahead and synchro the Tenyi and that Swordsoul token for the Chixiao, the Swordsoul Grandmaster. We're going to go Chainlink 1 Grandmaster, Chainlink 2 Tenyi. Tenyi is going to Foolish a Worm, and Chixiao is going to go ahead and add a Swordsoul card from deck to hand. Now, I also do make a slight mistake here coming up. My opponent luckily catches it. Auroradon, after you resolve its effects, make it so you cannot link summon for the rest of the turn. So I wanted to resolve my Adara here, and for some reason I forgot I had an Adara in grave. So yeah, it happens after I resolve this Desires here. So once I search the Blackout, and once like the Despots out of the deck, I decided to resolve Desire. So like the important one-ofs are no longer in the deck. And I think I drew into an Emergence off of that, and a Longyan, I think. No, I didn't, so I just searched Longyan there. I thought I drew into Emergence Longyan, but I drew into, like, I think I drew into Emergence Adara? Could be wrong. But I use Ashina here, and I really couldn't tell you why I use it, because, again, I am locked out of Link Summoning. And that's an Auroradon token over there, so it's not like I'm locked into Synchroing either. And then I use Longyan here, spec a token, synchro it into Chi-Ching Longyan, and, you know, burn 12. So I have this random Adara just chilling there, because I thought I could link it off into a Monk and then make Adara live, but I already have a Mecha Phantom Beast token on field. So I could have just used the one I had already in my grave, save the Ashina in grave as well, right? But either way, we're going to end on Grandmaster, Longyan, Blackout, and I think I had a Ghost Ogre and a DD Crow in hand also. So feeling very, very confident here that the board isn't going to get broken. I'm really hoping he does not have Raigeki, because Raigeki would actually be really good. That's all I can say. It'd just be really good. But my opponent is going to concede there. He's got the double Tenyi, Longyan, Vessel, and the unrivaled, or the flawless skill of the Tenyi. I don't know what it's called exactly, but he's going to concede there. Swordsoul Tenyi will be taking the match 2-1. If you guys want to see more of my content, check out one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Twitter0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Keith Sidgers, and Justin Lamb. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your extremely kind and generous support of the channel.